Well, here I am today. I am here with Kyle Anderson, who is the Director of Ancillary Services at OrthoRI. Kyle, welcome, and please share with us, how has your role evolved and changed and been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. I certainly appreciate you having me on today. I think that OrthoRI has been impacted in similar ways to other people in the community of Rhode Island, and certainly those across the country, and haven't been immune to any of the changes or the impacts of COVID. Certainly as a physical therapist, our relationship with the patients, have been challenged, and speed bumps have been presented as far as how we treat and how we interact with the patients, what feels safe, what no longer feels safe, and other smaller items, for example, wearing a mask, how you would express emotion to a patient, and being able to have those sort of intimate conversations and provide those treatments while maintaining a safe environment. So, it's been challenging. In my role overseeing rehab services, my initial goal is to keep everyone safe. How can we create an environment where the employees feel safe coming to work? They're provided the protective equipment and sort of the sanitation resources to maintain a safe environment for the patients. And then how can we continue to do all of the roles that are required of physical therapists and promote the quality of care? So, similar to the other groups in our state, we have transitioned in part to telehealth services. So we offer, those type of remote access opportunities so that we can have phone calls or video conferences with the patients, and be able to perform these remote sessions. And that was challenging. And my hat is off to all of the OrthoRI therapists, and really all the therapists, for being able to spearhead that and, step up to the plate and the learning curve that's associated with that. All of a sudden we are physical therapists, but then we have to be remote IT professionals as well, as we help these patients to figure their phones out and their iPads and these types of things. So it has been a challenging experience, but my hat is off to all of the therapists and the healthcare professionals that have stepped up in this environment, and they want to take care of patients. It's ingrained in their nature as therapists to be able to provide this service, and so they're willing to be here and do what needs to be done.
So what does a clinic visit to OrthoRI look like now? So when people actually are coming into physical therapy, how different is that to pre-COVID?
Right. So all of the typical screening processes that you experience when you go into many of the public facilities now, as far as health screenings, certainly masks are worn by both the patients and the providers. And then the other thing that you'll see frequently in the clinic is, sanitation procedures that, pre-COVID maybe you wouldn't have seen as aggressively. But other than that, the patients are receiving the same experience. They come in, they receive their treatment from the therapist, and there is a slight different feel in our community, certainly because people are wearing, masks, and, it covers your face, and physical therapy is a very personal event, but they're still receiving all of the treatment, whether or not it be, hands-on manual therapy or, exercise-based therapy modalities, all of the things that the patients, have come to expect and should expect from physical therapists, are being performed at OrthoRI.
I think you bring up a great point, is that the patients that are coming to our practices are actually still getting all the same interventions and same treatment, but there's a different feel because we've had to learn to communicate slightly in different ways because we're suddenly all wearing masks, and obviously the sanitations and the screenings makes it feel a little different, but ultimately the services that people are getting they haven't changed. In fact,
Right.
I think people have almost become better with their communication skills because of wearing masks and telehealth, that we're all so conscientious about how we communicate and making sure we're doing it as well as we can. Hopefully it means that a patient experience and their outcomes is even better.
That's right. That's right. And OrthoRI is unique in that we have so many surgical patients, and so they need help, and they need help now, and so we didn't have the opportunity to, discontinue their care in many cases, and they rely on us for their outcomes. So, masks and cleaning and whatever is required, we still provide those services, to those surgical patients.
Well, Kyle, thank you very much, and please give my best to all the team at Ortho Rhode Island, and thank you for sharing your stories with APTA Rhode Island.
Thank you very much, Michelle.